Hello everyone and welcome back to the channel. In this video today, we're back in with another reaction to a Canadian comedian, and this is to Whitehead's funniest Canadian stand-up jokes only in Canada. So my first time hearing him and watching his comedy, so let's get right into it for today. Let's go.
I was having a drink with an American in Holland a while back, and he's sitting there, and we're both getting drunk, but I didn't need this stupid question to come out. He goes, "Oh, you're from Canada. You where?" And I said, "I'm Nova Scotia." He goes, "Oh, I know a guy from BC. His name is John. Do you know him?" Canada boy. I always like to indulge them. I go, "Oh yeah, John from BC. We live on the same street. It's called the Trans-Canada Highway."
And that has happened actually before. Like, an American asked me like a similar question if I knew their cousin out in London. I'm like, no, what are you talking about?
Get to see him much. He lives 7,000 kilometers up the other end. I'll let him know you said hi. I'm quite proud of Canada, man. I like what we do. We don't care sometimes. We don't care about things that other people care about, you know? Like, we got to host a Live 8 concert. Yeah, woo, big time, big concert.
I don't know what
a
Live 8 concert
really
is.
Important concerts, actually.
Okay.
Well, there was more than 8, but it was called Live 8. It's a good thing there was more than 8, because we didn't really step up to the plate like everybody else. Every country took advantage of their Live 8 concert, put it in the major city. Joburg, Paris, Philadelphia, you know? So that you know that's where the Live 8 concert is, man. Where do we put ours? In Barrie.
Okay, so some of these jokes are going to be lost on me because I'm not really sure where Barrie is. If I had to guess, I imagine the concert's in the middle of nowhere. But, like, I get the first joke. This joke, let's see where he goes.
I love that, man. Woo! We're the only country that got to host the most important concert of the decade, and we made it sound like we just had it at some dude's house.
Oh. Okay, I do get it.
Out in the woods somewhere. You going Live 8? Where is it at? It's at Barrie, son. Bring your own beer. You got piss in the woods, toilets busted, but it's always a good time at Barrie, son. It's good to see my mom, but she's one of those Canadian mothers that's always worried and backs up all her beliefs with fake statistics.
Oh, those are the worst. I hate
Be careful
when
in
that
Toronto.
happens.
You know, 2 people from the Maritimes get murdered in Toronto every year. And nobody's been killed yet this year.
We all have a relative like this.
Think about that, young man. I've got a military father, too. Yeah. Woo. I didn't quite like hearing his tales, though. I like this Afghanistan, man. Our troops got sent there in military green uniforms. I like that. For anybody who isn't aware of this, Afghanistan is kind of desert-colored. Just as a rough guide. So, our boys requested desert-colored uniforms. The government said no.
Government said no? Why? Wouldn't that be good for
Canadian.
camouflage?
Here's some desert-colored paint.
Oh my.
I think about that all the time. I think about our boys over in Afghanistan trying to stumble out of the choppers, stuck to each other from the heat.
Oh, and the heat, yeah. Oh.
The Americans looking over at us. What the hell are the Canadians doing? Arts and crafts or something? There we were in the Afghan desert, dressed as bushes. And the Americans still killed 10 of us.
Oh. God, I don't know what happened there.
I could get a coffee with my buddy, sit on a bench next to a good patch of black ice, and watch people wipe out all day. He's brilliant, man. Cool spectator sport. There was one dude, though, he was walking towards us, right? He's walking towards, he's carrying some groceries, walking towards, and he got eye contact. He's like, hey, man, hey. Yeah. And then he hit the black ice, and, and it was one of those, like, he didn't go down. Like, I don't know if he had some sort of balance thing going, but the leg just came out, and you could, and he was still sliding forward towards, and you could tell he was fighting to get it back in.
I can literally picture what he's describing.
He's like, he's moving, and me and my buddy were like looking at him going, commit to the fall, dude. just
Gotta get over and done with.
Man. You're gonna lose your groin or something. He's like gliding forward on the black ice, and the foot came up a bit, and he landed.
Oh.
That was awesome. What an awesome move, right? But after he landed, he didn't look at us anymore, right? And he knew that we were watching the whole thing. He should have just looked at him. Yeah, I'm an idiot. Right? There was no acknowledgement or nothing. Instead, he just kept walking. But about 10 feet later, he threw in a... Like he was trying to, that's the cool Toronto walk, you know? It's the way we all walk around here, man. Black ice is nothing.
At least he saved it. I thought he was going to fall in a bad way. Nice turn it around.
I got in trouble twice in Ottawa airport recently, and I really like the contrast between the two, because the first time was with Canadian security, and then the second time was with the Americans. That's really weird, too. Canadian security, one little tiny Korean lady. That's it. American security, 4 massive pissed off dudes.
I can imagine this.
I was trying to figure out why it's the Canadian air. Why does the Canadians only have one little Korean lady working security? Then I thought maybe she's a ninja, right? Maybe she lulls the terrorists into a false sense of security.
To be fair, that would be a good
and then she's
tactic.
able to kung fu them or something. I was going from Ottawa to Manchester
You
in
went to
England. I had no
Manchester.
business in the States, but I did have a 20-minute stopover. And because of this 20-minute stopover in Atlanta, I had to check into the American side of the airport. Now, thinking nothing of it, I went and bought a Canadian cheeseburger. Yeah, I had to get one, man. I was going to England. Their food is shit. So,
What? No, I feel like English food does get a bad reputation, but English food is not that bad. I'm gonna keep it real. Like a nice English breakfast, when you get that, it's so good. I like our chicken shop. I think English food is pretty good. Like, it gets a bad reputation, but beans on toast, it may look simple, but man, that is a good meal.
I bought my Canadian cheeseburger, I put it in my bag, I put the bag through security, and I'm in the American departure lounge, I pulled out my cheeseburger, and that's when they flanked me. 4 massive pissed off dudes, right? And the leader leans over to me and goes, "What you got there, boy?" I was in a good mood, so I was like, it's a heart attack in a bun, really. Not having any of it. He goes, "Are you aware, son, that it is illegal to import beef
Oh my.
into the United States of America?" I was like, holy shit, dude. It's one cheeseburger. It's 20-minute stopover. I'm not even intending to have a shit in your country. Illegally import beef.
Hi there, everybody? Thank you for hanging out on my channel. I put together this little compilation of my old Canadian comedy special because I thought it would be fun to have a little selection of what I think are my most Canadian jokes from the recording. There is, of course, much more to some of these gags and stories, so if you want to watch the whole special, it's live on my YouTube channel. And if I made you snicker, at least, please give me a like and a follow. Every click and comment helps me continue to build this channel. You know, I get like 5 cents for every 1,000 views or something.
That is the way it works.
Cheers, and have a good time in the meantime.
Okay, make sure you guys go like and subscribe to his channel. I definitely did. I mean, he is a very funny guy, and yeah, he's right about the YouTube views. But obviously, it's just for a lot of fun. Like I like doing these videos. And the bit about the Americans saying, do you know this person just because you're from the same country? This happened to me before. I met an American. They said, oh, my cousin's out in London. Do you know them? I'm like, what's her name? They say, like, Grace. I'm like, no. Like, I don't think I even know anyone called Grace. But the fact they just assume I knew their cousin is crazy. And also, the Canadian concert, I didn't get that part at first, but then when he described it like Barry and Barry's house, just it does kind of sound crazy the way he described it. And about just the Canadian paint, like they want some uniforms for camouflage and they just get given paint. It's a bit crazy. And also about the Black Eye story and the airport. Like when you go to an airport, you always got to be careful. I can literally imagine the American like TSA agents. You got to be on your best behavior. You don't want to get in any trouble there, of course. And like that's one of my biggest fears is if someone plants something in your bag and you don't know, and then you end up in jail with like some random place. That is my biggest fear. That is one of my biggest fears. So I'll see you guys in the next video. Make sure to subscribe to JJ Whitehead. He is hilarious. I enjoyed all the jokes he did and the stories he told. So I'll see you guys in the next video. Have a great day, everyone.